On September 30th, the president issued an executive order establishing a committee on the arts and the humanities. It sits within the Institute of Museum and Library Services. Crosby Kemper is the director of that institute, which is the primary source of federal support for the nation's libraries and museums. Crosby, welcome to the program.
It's so great to be here, Mimi. Thank you.
You know, the president's executive order said that the arts, the humanities, museums, and libraries are essential to the democracy of the nation. How?
So one of the phrases that he used in the executive order is cultural vitality. And I think that exists in libraries and museums. It exists and supported by the NEA and the NEH, the National Endowments, who are also a part of this, and the IMLS. And it's really about, from the point of view of the president and this order, it's about the civic trust that libraries and museums have, that the arts and humanities have, and the unity that they build for the country, which we obviously need at this time. And we're very excited about the president's order and the attention to the arts and humanities that it betokens.
So it's called the President's Committee on the Arts and the Humanities.
Right.
First, tell us how it's set up and who's on it.
So this has existed since President Reagan started it, and the president will appoint shortly 25 board members and 2 board co-chairs. There'll be substantial people from the arts and humanities, and it exists to support the work that the National Endowment for the Arts, the National Endowment for the Humanities, and the IMLS, the Institute of Museum and Library Services, already do with cultural organizations around the country, and it will highlight the work that we do. Things like the National Student Poets, Saving America's Treasures, lots of things that are probably important as we move into the 250th anniversary of the Declaration, about which there's also a commission, and supporting literacy, cultural literacy, basic reading literacy, supporting the activities that artists and teachers and museums and libraries engage in every day.
This committee is purely advisory, though. So will it really be able to accomplish anything, or is it, you know, to show that the administration cares about arts and humanities?
I think its greatest charge is promotion of the arts and humanities. It really will depend on the NEA, the NEH, and the IMLS to do the work and to make sure that it matters. And I having been doing this for 2.5 years, but as a librarian and as a civic leader, having done this my entire adult lifetime, I can tell you it's the most important thing we can do in this country right now, the cultural vitality, which is dependent on the civic trust that the arts and humanities have at the local level in this country. That's the kind of thing that we support. You know, the national conversation is a very polarized conversation right now. But if you look at the conversations that we're having locally, the conversations in cities and towns around the country, that's the place where we lower the heat and raise the light around things like the arts and humanities, which can bring us together.
You mentioned the local libraries. So what is your interaction with those local libraries, your organization's interaction, and how do you support them? Because they are supported by their local communities.
Right. So what the IMLS does is we make grants, and we make grants around technology and professional development, but we focus on things like crossing the digital divide, making sure that everybody has access to, not just access to, but know how to use the internet to better their lives. A lot of what we do is built around partnerships in the local community, libraries and museums. This particularly happened during the pandemic. Libraries and museums working with their local health authorities, working with their local social justice organizations, their local neighborhood organizations, their local school districts or universities, community colleges, et cetera. And building a coalition around literacy, building a coalition around the arts, and that during the pandemic, that's been a huge thing, and it's helped us cross the divides in this country, be more intentional about who we're helping, and lifting the spirits.
Tell us about how large your organization is and what's the budget.
We are a micro agency. We're the IMLS is the largest cultural agency, in part because we have a great program called the Grants to States, where we fund state libraries funding local libraries. We have 70 employees at the moment. The President's Committee on the Arts and Humanities and the Information Literacy Task Force, which Congress has asked us to do, will expand us a little bit, we hope. We're always, as everyone in Washington, we're always waiting to see what happens with the budget.
And you're about halfway through your 4-year term. How's it been going so far?
So, you know, they gave me a pandemic at the beginning of my term, so that's been fascinating. And we've done a lot with that at the IMLS, our reopening libraries, museums, and archives project, the Realm Project. We did serious research that helped libraries and museums reopen. Our work on reading and literacy, I think, has been very important and will continue to be important. The best practices for libraries and museums at the local level. And then the excitement of the President's Committee, reestablishing that. I think that, and that it will report to us, and we'll be working in partnership with the NEA and the NEH on that. Exciting, the Information Literacy Task Force and America 250. It's a full plate. On the other hand, it's important to the country. And libraries and museums are the place where we have the highest level of civic trust in this country. And it's our role today to use that civic trust to make this a better and more unified country, to bring people together.
Crosby, I want to thank you so much for being on the program.
Mimi, thank you.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any future Government Matters interviews.